This is Karina, and you're listening to Bold, Brown and British, a weekly podcast where we discuss what it means to be a brown person in a Western world. We've spoken about colorism, third culture identity, and dating, amongst many others on this podcast. So if this sounds like the type of content that you want to hear, please subscribe to us on Apple Podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts from. You can also message us on Instagram. The handle is @BoldBrownAndBritish, or drop us an email via our website at www.boldbrownbritish.com. So without further ado, let's get on with this week's episode.
Quick question. When was the last time you actually woke up thinking, wow, today is the perfect day for a breakup? Yeah, I thought so. Never. Let's be real for a moment, my lovely samosas. Why, oh why, do breakups hurt so damn much? You know that feeling when your heart has been battered, fried, and then left out in the cold, like a soggy, unseasoned pasty? Yeah, we've all been there. You're just living your life, sipping your coffee, minding your business, when suddenly, bam! Somebody decides to dump you faster than yesterday's leftovers. But seriously, why do breakups hit so hard? And more importantly, how do we survive them without resorting to devouring an entire tub of ice cream in one sitting or rewatching Bollywood rom-coms for the 10th time in a row? Today, we're diving deep into the wild, messy, emotional rollercoaster that are breakups, and we're talking about the classic stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance, but with the real-life twist. We're also going to cover those stages that no one really talks about, like suddenly becoming a gym enthusiast or experiencing a glow-up, or maybe even the temptation of a rebound. So let's start with the rhetorical question to set the mood. What is it about breakups that make them so universally terrible? Is it the loss, the change, the sheer audacity of having to relearn how to sleep in a bed without somebody hogging the covers? Or maybe, just maybe, it's the fact that somebody else gets to walk away with half of our Spotify playlist. Yep, heartbreak in the music streaming rights, the true tragedy of our times. Alright, let's not get too emotional just yet. We'll save that for the depression stage. Let's start from the top, the first dreaded stage of a breakup. Stage 1, denial. I can't believe it's over. So the breakup happened. You're sitting there in shock. You're staring at your phone as if it's going to text you back with a, oops, my bad, didn't mean to dump you. Newsflash, it's not. But denial is comforting, isn't it? It's that stage where your brain says, nope, this isn't happening. I'm just having a bad dream, and any moment now I'll wake up and everything will be fine. During denial, we convince ourselves that the relationship isn't really over. Maybe we just need to talk it out. Maybe they'll come to their senses. Or perhaps, just perhaps, they've actually been abducted by aliens and had no choice but to break it off via text because their spaceship doesn't have Wi-Fi. Denial isn't just about refusing to accept that it's over. It's about clinging onto any shred of hope, like trying to scoop up the last bit of chutney with a naan that's already been dipped one too many times. You might find yourself stalking their social media, analysing every post, every like, every cryptic song lyric they share, looking for signs that they're missing you just as much. Spoiler alert, it's rarely productive. Denial, while comforting, can also be destructive. On the one hand, it shields you from the raw pain of reality. On the other, it keeps you stuck in a loop of false hope. You might start replaying every moment of the relationship, editing the moments to suit your narrative. It wasn't that bad, you tell yourself. We just had a rough patch. But deep down, you know better. It's during this stage that the no contact rule becomes crucial. It's tempting to reach out, to send that late night text, or call just to hear their voice, but trust me, sticking to the no contact rule is the best way to give yourself the space you need to begin healing. No matter how strong the urge, resist the temptation to reopen that door. Stage 2. Anger, aka, how dare they? Anger. The stage where your mind turns into a Bollywood drama, full of passion, rage, and more dramatic flair than you thought you were capable of. This is when you think, how dare they? After all you've done, after all the time you've invested, they had the audacity to leave you. Suddenly, every little thing about them that once seems cute is now infuriating. Their quirks, which you once adored, now seem like glaring flaws. That shirt they loved to wear? Hideous. Favorite brand? Overrated. And do not even get me started at how they chewed their food. The nerve! I gave them the best years of my life. Whether those years were actually good is irrelevant. And at this moment, you are convinced that you are the best thing that's ever happened to them. Everything feels personal. You start remembering all the times they annoyed you, the times that they forgot your chai order, when they made fun of your favorite Bollywood hero. Suddenly, you're seeing red, and every moment of them feels like a betrayal. Your friends, they're probably tired of hearing about it. But don't worry, they'll still listen because they know you just need to vent. It's a healthier way to process. Plus, let's be honest, they're just happy you're finally done with the denial stage and not talking about alien abductions anymore. Anger is often fueled by the realization of how much you sacrificed, how much you gave, and how little you feel you got in return. You might find yourself drafting and deleting angry texts, or worse, sending them. But be careful with this stage. Anger can be a double-edged sword. It can empower you, giving you the strength to move forward, but it can also burn bridges that maybe don't need to be torched. This is when the no contact rule becomes your best friend again. It's all too easy to lash out, but keeping your distance gives you the chance to cool off, reflect, and avoid doing something you might regret. Remember, silence can be more powerful than any angry word. Stage 3. Bargaining, aka maybe if I just... This is when you start imagining all sorts of wild scenarios. You think, what if I just send them an epic heartfelt text? What if I make a grand gesture that show up with all their favorite snacks? Surely they can't resist the combo of samosas, chocolate, and emotional manipulation, right? You start playing mental chess with yourself and the universe. Maybe if I just text them one more time. Maybe if I apologize for things I didn't even do. Maybe if I change this or that, they'll come back. It's the what if stage, where you're trying to negotiate your way back into their life, as if the universe is a market stall and you can haggle your way to happiness. Bargaining is a slippery slope. You start making promises to yourself, to your friends, to your higher power. I'll change, I'll do better, I'll be the perfect partner. It's a desperate attempt to regain control, to turn back time and rewrite the ending of your story. You might even find yourself stalking their hangouts, hoping for a chance encounter, or replaying old conversations in your head, wishing you could have said something different. But let's be honest, samosas, all this bargaining does is delay the inevitable. It's like trying to hold on to a sandcastle as the tide comes in. The more you cling, the quicker it falls apart. It's time to let go and trust that the universe has a better plan in store. Stage 4 depression. This hurts so much. So we've arrived at the stage where it feels like all the colour has been drained from the world, where your bed becomes both your best friend and your worst enemy. Depression is the stage where reality hits you like a ton of bricks and you realize that the relationship is truly over. You start replaying every moment, wondering how it all went wrong. You miss them, you miss the routine, you miss the comfort of knowing someone out there thought of you as their person. Even the idea of being in a relationship feels like a distant, unreachable dream now. You might find yourself binge-watching sad movies, eating your weight in chocolate, or staring out the window dramatically as if you're in a music video. Depression is tough, no doubt about it. It's like the world has lost its flavour and even your favourite foods taste bland. And for us brown folks, if the spices don't taste right, you know something's seriously wrong. It's a very isolating stage. You can start withdrawing from your friends and family, not because you don't want their support, but because it's just too hard to talk about how you're feeling without breaking down. You replay the breakup in your mind over and over, and it hurts just as much each time. The tears come without warning, in the shower, in the car, in the middle of a workday. This is when self-care becomes crucial. You need to be kind to yourself, whether it's indulging in small comforts, like a warm bath or a good book, or seeking support from loved ones. And don't be afraid to seek professional help if the sadness feels overwhelming. Depression after the breakup is completely normal, but that doesn't mean you have to face it alone. Stage 5. The gym membership. Somewhere between depression and acceptance, there's this curious little stage where you suddenly start to hit the gym. Maybe it's the anger fueling you. Maybe it's the desire to prove that you are thriving without them. Either way, you find yourself signing up for that gym membership you've been putting off, buying new workout gear and hitting the treadmill like it owes you money. It's not just about getting in shape, it's about taking back control, about transforming yourself into the best possible version of you. You start noticing changes in your body. With those changes comes boosts in confidence. You're no longer the person that got dumped. You're the person who's making a comeback. Here's the thing though. The gym, like the rebound, isn't a magic cure for your heartbreak. It's a distraction, a way to channel your pain into something productive, but it doesn't heal the wounds on its own. So make sure you're also doing the inner work, reflecting on the relationship, understanding what went wrong, and learning from the experience. Keep yourself focused on yourself and do your own growth rather than caught up in the what your ex might be thinking. Stage 6. I'm thriving. The glow up. The stage where all your hard work starts to pay off. You've been hitting the gym, you've been taking care of yourselves, and it shows. You're looking in the mirror and suddenly liking what you actually see. But the glow up isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling good. It's about rediscovering yourself, your passions, your hobbies, and your dreams. You start dressing up, going out, and living your best life. And the best part, you're doing it for you, not for anyone else. The glow up is a powerful stage because it's when you start to feel like yourself again, and maybe even better version of yourself. You're no longer defined by the relationship or the breakup. You're defined by who you are and who you're becoming. And let's be honest, there's something deeply satisfying about running into your ex or them seeing you on social media and realizing how amazing you look and feel. But remember, the glow up is about more than just impressing others. It's about embracing your own journey and finding happiness within yourself. Stage 7. I need a distraction. This is the stage of the rebound, where you're tempted to jump into something new, if only to fill the void your ex left behind. Maybe it's a fling, maybe it's something more, but the idea of being with someone else feels like a way to escape the lingering pain. Rebounds can be fun, exciting even, but they're tricky. They can make you feel better in the short term, but they rarely lead to anything meaningful. In fact, they can sometimes make you feel even worse. The rebound stage is tricky because it often stems from a place of vulnerability. You're not fully healed, but you're craving connection, intimacy, and validation. And whilst there's nothing wrong with exploring new relationships, it's important to be honest with yourself and with the other person about where you are emotionally. Rebounds can work out, but more often than not, they're just a temporary distraction. Make sure you're not using somebody else to avoid dealing with your own feelings. Rebounds can easily lead to complications with your ex, especially if you've not moved on yet. Finally, stage 8. It's really over. You finally arrived at acceptance, the stage where you wake up one day and realize you're not crying anymore. You're not angry, you're not bargaining, you're okay. Acceptance is like the first sip of chai after a long, exhausting day. It's comforting, it's familiar, and it signals that better days are ahead. This is the stage where you start to reclaim your life. You make peace with the breakup. It's not that the pain has completely disappeared, but it's no longer the central focus of your life. You've processed your feelings, learned from experience, and are ready to move forward. You're no longer dwelling on the past or obsessing over what could have been. You're looking into the future with hope and optimism. You realize that life goes on even without them. You start making plans again, not just to distract yourself, but because you genuinely want to move forward. You get back to doing the things you love, reconnecting with friends, and maybe even considering the idea of dating again. And eventually. Acceptance doesn't happen overnight. It's a result of all the stages that came before it. The denial, the anger, the bargaining, the depression, the gym sessions, the glow up, and yes, even the rebound. It's the stage where you finally let go of the relationship and are ready to embrace whatever comes next. It's freeing because it allows you to move on without bitterness or regret. You've grown, you've learned, and you're stronger for it. Navigating through the breakup, the tips and tricks. Now that we've gone through the stages, let's talk about how to navigate through them without losing your mind. Number 1, give yourself time. Healing isn't linear. You might feel fine one day and then feel like you're back at square one the next. That's okay. Give yourself the time and space you need to heal. 2, stay connected. It's easy to isolate yourself when you're going through a breakup, but staying connected with friends and family is crucial. They can offer support, distractions, and a reminder that you're not alone. Focus on self-care. This is your time to take care of yourself. Whether it's getting enough sleep, eating well, or just doing the things that make you happy, self-care is key to getting through a breakup. 4, avoid the urge to reconnect. It's tempting to reach out to your ex, but in most cases, it's better to keep your distance. Give yourself and them the space to heal without reopening old wounds. Embrace the glow up. Use this time to work on yourselves, but remember that a glow up is more than just looking good. It's about feeling good too. Don't rush into a rebound. Rebounds can be fun, but they're not a long-term solution. Make sure you're emotionally ready before jumping into something new. Reflect and learn. Every relationship teaches us something, even the ones that don't work out. Take some time to reflect on what you've learned and how you've grown. And finally, stay open to the future. It's easy to feel like you'll never find love again. But remember, the future is full of possibilities. Stay open to whatever comes your way. So, my lovely samosas, breakups really do suck. But they're also part of life, and as painful as they are, they can be a catalyst for growth and self-discovery. So if you're going through one right now, know that you're not alone and things will get better. And remember, it's okay to feel sad, angry, or even relieved. Whatever you're feeling is valid. Just keep moving forward, one step at a time. And before you know it, you'll be looking back and realizing just how far you've come. As always, I'm sending you love and spice. Until next time, take care of yourselves.
Oh, Mikey, you made it till the end. I'm so happy. Well, listen, if you enjoyed what you heard and you want to hear more, subscribe to the podcast on, wherever you are listening to this. We are on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer, TuneIn, Alexa, you name it, we're there. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on an episode. We also are on Instagram, which houses loads of behind-the-scenes audio snippets, polls, memes, and ways for you to get involved. So go follow us on Bold, Brown and British. That's the handle. And until next time, keep safe, my wonderful samosas.